happening, dudes and dudettes? Today we're going to be talking about Scream 6. This is my Scream 6 movie review. I wasn't sure what I was going to start doing on the channel. That's why I've not been posting for a while, because I was trying to figure out, I'm still going to do skits things, but I was trying to wrangle down what I'm going to do, because as of right now, the channel, I was just uploading stuff that I was interested in at the time, like the pop culture stuff. So this is going to fall more in line with the pop culture stuff, so I'm going to start doing movie reviews. So without further ado, let's get into Scream 6, the review. Spoilers ahead, so if you've not seen the movie, vamonos until you can come back and watch it because you've seen the movie. So, let's get into it. So, the opening scene of this movie, right, is one of the more original ideas I've seen when it comes to a Scream opening. You know, some of our wee things there, they're like, ooh, yeah, let's go for it. And come on, the minute you saw her, you know what's gonna happen. She gonna die, because anybody who's very popular and mainstream, anything, be it horror movies, be it in other movies, you know they're gonna get stabbed. You know they're gonna get killed. It's just a thing of Scream. It's one of the tropes of Scream now. Ironically, one thing about this scene that I did like was that for the first time ever, it's not the actual killer doing the first kill. It is completely just a random guy who, ironically, if you watch Spider-Man, he was Flash in that. So, funnily enough, he looks more like an actual bully in this movie than he does in the Spider-Man movies. So, that was quite ironic, I quite found. But obviously, so opens up with Samara Weave and she's going on a little date, and you're like, okay, we know the drill, and oh, we're at a dark alley. I can't see you. Where are you? I'm waving. And then, you know, she studied. The funny thing is that obviously they take the mic out of the fact that she's supposed to be a horror professor, and you know she gets killed in a stereotypical, you know, horror trope, which I find quite interesting because it was obviously quite funny. You know, it's like, oh look, the irony of this, and it's like that's cool and all, but it is what it is. Then from going on from then, you know, he's going home. He's took off the mask, and then now he walks past Tara, who's obviously Sam's sister, and goes, oh hi, and clearly, funnily enough, they're friends. Who would have saw that one coming? And so obviously they ask if Sam's coming along to the frat party. Of course, Sam from the last movie is never going to fucking go to the frat party. It just doesn't make any logical sense, because obviously she's still worried about bad things happening to her or her sister, so she's on guard, where Tara's going for the whole, you know, screw you, I'm not letting this one thing define my life sort of arc, but understandably so. For me, that sort of like way she was coming across, especially like at this frat party, which is just fucking horrible. It's like, oh yeah, because I nearly got killed, I'm just gonna go and be a douche canoe. Like, no. Like, I can understand why everybody has their own coping mechanism and things, but, you know, it is what it is. So she's off to this party, and we follow the other guy. I can't even really remember his name, to be honest. Like, it wasn't like he was that important of a character, because within the next 10 minutes, you'll find out why. So, we follow him home. You know, he's asking where his roommate is, because him and his roommate are the one that is doing all these things and setting things up. And, you know, he's like, yo, where are you? And then he gets a phone call. And you know where this is going, don't you? So, you know, they're playing cat and mouse. He's looking for his friend. He said, we promised we wouldn't use the voices on each other. And then, bada bing, bada boom, would you have not believed it? He ends up turning up in the fridge, chopped up. Whoa. And then, of course, the guy who done the first kill is then done in, taken out like that. And, you know, they bring up the fact that, you know, they were going to try kill Sam and Tara, and obviously they're like, no, you're not doing that. And then from then on, it goes forward. We go back to this fucking frat party thing. And when in the frat party, you see Mindy and Chad, and, you know, everybody's like, oh, you sure you want to be at a frat party so quickly after this? And then Mindy's like, oh, yeah, no, this is totally something that would get us out of here, and, you know, like, what is the chances of it happening a second time? And everybody knows, like, yeah, I know they were trying to do it for ironical reasons, but let's be honest, it's the Scream franchise, and one of the things that they touch upon in this movie is about tropes. So, ironically, funnily enough, they should have known that someone dressed up as Ghostface would come along again and stab. You know, I'm just saying, like, it's predictable at this point because it happens every movie. So, obviously, Tara is in this sort of like fuck the rules, so she's gonna go upstairs with this guy that no one wants her to go upstairs with. So then we transition over to Sam, and Sam is with the new roommate who has a brother who's suspiciously died, and she's got a cop father. And I'm not gonna lie, I called it within 5 minutes. If you know, you know. You'll find when I get more into the spoilers a bit later on when it comes to that part of the discussion, you'll know what I mean. Like you know, so she's like, "Oh, you've got another guy over. Oh, you're getting banged again. Haha, very funny. You know, all the tropes of horror movies at this point." And then she's like, "Yo, where's my sister?" And then she's like, "Oh, she's at that frat party." So she lands her in it, and you're like, "Okay, here we go." So Sam's on her way to get to this frat party when the Tara's about to go upstairs with this douche canoe guy. And then obviously Chad steps in, and then they get into a wee bit of a brawl. Sam arrives just on time to then tase him in the balls, which was quite funny. I'm not gonna lie, it was quite a funny scene. Um, and then obviously Tara does the whole like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, why can't I just be a normal teenager?" Blah 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 blah. And then storms off in a huff. And then on the way back with Chad and Mindy, Sam gets harassed by people that believe the theory that went on the internet about her being the actual mastermind, and she's the one Loomis to finally get away with actually murdering people. Because obviously her dad was Billy Loomis, so of course she's gonna be a serial killer. Even though they like to tease that a lot within Scream 5 in this movie. It's one of the biggest plot points I've noticed is that, oh, could Sam fall to the dark side? And they keep teasing it, and then she keeps turning her back on it. It's one of those things. And then so we jump from there, and to be honest, I can't really remember what goes on from there. Like, they go back to the house, Chad and Tara have a moment, and then, the friend comes in and is like, "Oh, I've left my phone," the slutty roommate, and you're like, "Oh, okay, why does she need her phone so badly?" Like, that was another wee hint for me, because, like, you don't need your phone that much. You could have left it. And then obviously her and Sam bicker some more about, oh, this, that, the next thing, and then they turn on the TV, and what would you know? Ghostface is struck again. The two people, funnily enough, that they knew are now dead, not by coincidence. Although let's be real, like it's a Scream movie. We know what we're in for at this point in time, anyway. And then so they start freaking out, and they're like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no!" And then they start trying to figure out, like, oh, it could be any one of us. And Mindy goes on her spiel about how they're going to go against the tropes, which also gives away a lot of this movie. It's not a bad movie though. I do think it's one of the better sequels out of all the sequels. So it's not like I'm hating on this movie. Like, I do like it, but I'm just saying it was highly predictable because of the story. They're really good at writing the dynamics between characters, like the Chad and Tara stuff, and then Tara and Sam stuff, and Sam's got her own little man guy across from the hall from her and things, and they fall in love, and they are seeing each other but on the DL, and that makes him a prime suspect and things. And then going forward, then they get the phone calls, and people are getting attacked. So then you've got Mindy's girlfriend, who's a new character. She gets axed, and then also one of the things that I'm going to bring up about this movie, a lot of people don't fucking die this time around. Like, there's a bunch of no names that die in a shop. There's Mindy's girlfriend and the three people at the beginning of the movie. The rest of the movie, it seems like everybody can get stabbed about 50 times and still live, which I don't understand how the fuck that works. But yeah, because Gail gets stabbed, Kirby gets stabbed again. All these people are getting killed again. Well, oh no, we're gonna fake their death again is a better way of putting it, really. And so for me, it's one of those things where it's like it's getting a bit too tropey. I'm not going to start doing the whole storyline because that would take way too long for a video. So let's get to the most important parts of it. So basically, what ends up happening is Sam and Tara are on the run again from Ghostface, and they figure out that there's a secret hidden area where there's all different Scream masks, and each kill that they're going and doing, they're leaving a mask from the previous killer's regimen. Really, it's like a previous killer's mask, and that's what they're doing. And so they're going down by chronicle order from the fifth all the way back down to Sam to give it the whole like, oh, could it be Sam sort of deal. And Sam keeps getting planted at these scenes of the crimes. Um, her the one thing that didn't make sense to me though is that her one alibi got stabbed in the face, which was her psychiatrist, and I'm not gonna lie. Why would, if you want to plant the whole idea that it was Sam, why would she kill her own alibi? That makes no actual sense when it comes to being a smart serial killer. So I don't think the killers thought that through at that point. Then, we've got the weird incel roommate of Chad. Everybody kind of just gathered anyway, because, come on, like, he didn't do much to the story wise. He was barely around half the time, so it's kind of giving it away in a sense. So let's get to the point where the big spoilers are at. So the killers were the detective, cop, and the slutty roommate and the incel weird guy that moved in with Chad. And the reason why I could tell who they were from the first 5-10 minutes of this movie, and then other things along the way just stamped that into it, was one, they say they're going to get strobed. So slutty roommate is always usually the first one to die, or they eventually will die because they're no longer a virgin. Scream is the first movie to ever get rid of that trope where Cindy still lost her virginity, but she still survived, right? That was the first time. So that's what kind of gave it away to me. Also, her roommate's death scene, legit. One, she got stabbed off screen. Second of all, when you do see the supposed body, it's only for 5 seconds before they are starting to jump out of a fucking window. Then, on top of that, the cop kept digging into Kirby and making sure about Kirby, which made him seem sus, because Kirby is a survivor of these attacks, and she is a part of the FBI because she wanted to scare the monsters that would come after her. She wanted to be the monster for the monsters sort of deal. And the thing that I found really funny about that is that the guy never cried about his daughter. He was just like, whoever kills my family is going to pay. And I'm like, okay, so let's get this straight. They have a brother that is dead. They don't disclose why. There is one more brother left, and there's a dad, and then there's the slutty roommate. They kind of spelled it out for you. They didn't really think too much of the murder mystery aspect this time around. In the fifth one, it's the same. That it seems like they can't really do the murder mystery part all too well, because once you know the stereotypes of Scream, they're doing the whole meta stuff, but they're being too meta now, to the point where they need to learn to actually change it up a bit. And so obviously the story culminates in Sam and Tara surviving again. They take out these killers, and they survived. That they've survived. And during the whole thing, they keep playing with the whole well, Sam, go to the dark side. Billy's showing up to tell her embrace your dark side, and you enjoy killing and all that sort of stuff. But Tara keeps saving her from it at the end of the day. Gail was a weird person in this story. She kind of changed back to her old original Scream 1 self, and not gonna lie, she kind of did fuck all in this movie. Same with Kirby. They were practically pointless to the story. It was nice of a flashback cameo, but other than that, there was no need for them to be there in the slightest. It was pointless to have them there. But it was still nice. Don't get me wrong. Some of the kills were quite creative, and some of the stuff that they did was quite good. But for me, the issues that I have with the movie is that it's just very predictable at this point. It's we know that Sam and Tara are going to survive because all the core four survived as well. Chad got double teamed, major, got stabbed 10 times on each side by 2 killers, and it's no, he survived somehow, and it's okay. So it kind of defeated the whole purpose of the killers in this, I would say, because honestly, they didn't really kill many people, other than some randoms, which goes against the whole idea of Ghostface and Scream to begin with. But I would still give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. But that's been my overall thoughts. If you have any other things you would like to discuss in the comments, leave one down there. And I'm going to have to be one of those annoying YouTubers. If you like this video and if you want to see more, click that like button and click the little subscribe button. I hate saying that, and I hate YouTubers that say it myself, so I know it's annoying, but it's the only way people can grow on this platform, so do with that as you will. But But I have been Kane and Wolf, and I shall see you in the next video.